something, right? Like there's something happening with that. And you saw where all these Democrats, leading Democrats, were the first ones to go on to the Wade's page and say, "Oh, way to go, Zaya! You go, girl! We love it, girl! Good job, girl!" You know, and a lot of Black people just weren't really feeling that. You know, it doesn't mean they hate anybody. I don't think Black people are hateful people. We're just not. We actually probably forgive people too easily. But you know, they were just kind of. I think Black folks are kind of like, why are you letting children pick their genders when they're like 4? You know, like Faye Bishop. Faye Bishop was on FlyNewBeingQueenTV.com, and she was like, when a child's 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, how are you gonna let them decide they want to be another gender? Like they don't understand that, right? It does. So my thing is that if you really break it down, to be honest with you, this is the awkward paradox that Black people live in, is that you know the Republicans have just been so racist, you know that it's been hard to ride with them, right? But the Democrats are so liberal that it makes Black people want to puke, because Black people are not into, as a collective, I'm not talking about everybody, we're not as into, you know, feminism. Like, for example, most Black women, most of the real Black women that raised me, that influenced me, they're not into like Becky tears and Becky crying all the time, or saying that a man is a rapist because he pinched her booty. Like they just don't understand that, right? So they're just not aligned with that, or they're not. Black folks aren't into the LGBT agenda the way white folks are. Black folks are not into a lot of the things that Democrats are into. And then remember this, I mean, a lot of Black folks that are really awake and really understand what's happened, understand in terms of history, are still mad that they have relatives that are still in prison today after Bill Clinton passed laws in the 1990s that sent away hundreds of thousands of Black people. You know, they're like Black folks are still mad about that. A lot of Black folks are still mad about that. So I'm not sitting there trying to say that you shouldn't be a Democrat. I'm not going to tell you that. I don't really give a shit who you vote for. I'm just not. But I think that if you are running around here convincing Black folks that somehow our lives are going to get better because we elected another Democrat, then I got to stop you right there and challenge you a little bit and kind of say to you, like, Negro, are you crazy? Like, what are you talking about? Like, this strategy has not worked. So I think at the end of the day, we need a new strategy. I mean, can you just type that in the chat? Type new strategy. We need a new strategy to move forward. We need a new strategy to get ahead. It may involve the Democratic Party, it may not, but we need a new strategy to solve these old problems that have not been solved in the last 50 years. And it's really as simple as that. So if that means that you're going to go vote for Trump, I don't give a shit. If it means you're going to go vote for the Democrats, I don't give a shit. If it means you're going to be independent, I don't give a shit. If it means you're not going to vote, I don't give a shit, because I believe that the strategy for Black people, the new strategy for Black people to be successful, is going to involve something that is family-based, something that goes back to our roots, something that goes back to the values that we had before integration, something that goes back to when we kept our families together, something that goes back to when we owned our own businesses, something that goes back to when we were educating our own children, something that goes back to when we had communities and not neighborhoods, something that goes back to when we actually loved ourselves and actually had institutions in our community. It's going to involve us moving forward by looking back. So progressives don't really have a place in that conversation, because some of the stuff they're saying just sounds butt naked crazy. Like when they run around here, seriously, think about this. The process. Now I got into some fights over this, but I don't care. I'm good for a fight. Lizzo, for example, you got white folks promoting Lizzo as the #1 entertainer in America, and her big old buck dancing ass is going on apps like TikTok, which draw children, and getting her on her knees like she's ready to suck a man's you know what. Did anybody else see that? Give me a yes or no if you saw that. Lizzo, again, loved by white folks, loved by the feminists, loved by the LGBT, loved by the liberals, celebrated by the liberals, as the #1 role model for all Black girls in America, was on an app for children on her knees talking about, I'm about to taste a man's blankety blank. I don't want to repeat it because I feel bad for even having to say it. And then go look at me like I'm the crazy one because I call that shit out. Like seriously, like I'm the crazy one? What the hell, man? Y'all have lost your motherfucking minds if you think this is normal. Seriously. I'm not even gonna talk about the fact that she was twerking in a thong on Instagram yesterday. They're celebrating this. They're promoting this. They're pushing this to your daughters. They're pushing this to your daughters. And that's because they, #1, they don't care. #2, they're sick people. They're just sick. I'm sorry.
sick. It's